What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here. We are back with the Expedition of the Damned. I am, of course, your DM for the night, Jumbo Thick. This is our Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition campaign. We have the full cast and crew of the expedition with us. And we had some harrowing experiences in the previous session. But I'm excited to delve into it. Let's do brief introductions before we kick everything off, since we kind of hopped in early last time. Let's start with Pierce Galactic.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Chris Galactic. Once again, playing the best character. That's Wolfram Kistler, a handgunner from Osland. Brave, tall, handsome, so beautiful. I believe, of the humans. I'm sorry, now of the humans. I watched a bunch of X-Men today, so I'm thinking about that. Yeah, I am the oldest by more than a little bit. I can't remember how old Lucian is, but I
You're older
um
than everyone.
I treat my not my companions, but my the soldiers underneath me. I treat them so well. I really look out for their health.
It's true.
I make sure I give them little treats once in a while.
Hmm.
I might even try to kill them sometimes.
Yeah,
So
who
aside
knows?
from that, that's probably all you need to know about me.
Yeah. Let's slide on down to Dan Decker.
Hey, yeah, Dan Decker here, playing Nog Throat Ripper, the only non-human. Well, we got Rory, the Rumpster. He's not a human either, but I'm an ogre, 10.5 foot tall, and very large fella. I recently acquired a very big, think intellectually distinct version of Hellboy's handgun.
Hmm. Hmm.
I've got that now, and like I mentioned, I have Rory, my halfling companion, ever present with me. He likes to
Ever
make
present.
he like you would know them in this world, in the viewing world, as a Molotov cocktail. In our world, he makes Rory roasters that we
Right,
throw,
roasters.
you know, and he's a good cook.
Hmm.
He's
Hmm.
an excellent cook. Nog, not so much, but surprisingly good medic.
Yeah.
And Nog idolizes Mr. Luthor. He does. He tries to live his life just like Mr. Luthor would. And
Indeed,
that's
indeed.
about that.
Let's slide on over to Nate.
Hey everybody, Nate here. I'll be playing Lucien Levesque, a human duelist, standing about 5'6", 5'7", 19 years old, wielding rapier and pistol.
Hmm.
And yeah, happy to have survived for the moment the chaotic happenings in camp.
Yes, indeed.
Excited to see the aftermath.
Ah, yes, we must get to that. Speaking of chaotic aftermath, Jumbo Smooth.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jumbo Smooth. I play Luther Steinhauer. Um, I have a new child, so I'll be running around probably tonight again. So if you see me in darkness, that's just me in my son's room,
Hmm.
feeding him
Hmm.
or something. So, but I'm a wizard. I play a wizard, Luther Steinhauer. He's got fire powers.
Fire powers.
Fire
Very
powers.
eloquent. Yes, like
Yep. Yep. He's the Johnny Storm of the group.
Johnny Storm. We're getting.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, there we go.
Yep.
That's hitting the nail on the head there.
Right on the head, right on the head. And so, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, the one and only Doobie Two.
Yes, I play Henry Bertold, a 6'2", solid piece of mass of a
Solid
knight.
piece.
Character update. The session before last, I had gotten my agility up to a 44,
Ooh, okay,
quite
okay.
high. And our last session, I got my strength up to a 56.
Dear Lord. Okay.
I will one day be stronger than Nog. That's my goal.
Oh, that's not gonna happen, but sure. You can always try.
You doubt me?
If he spends a lot of, I mean, it's just,
It'd
I've
be a
got
lot.
63. He's going to spend a lot of XP. He can get there. I just love to see that roid rage, you
Mm,
know?
mm. All right. So that's impressive. But with that, let's get into it. So, last we left off, the crew of the expedition has found themselves on their way to Sudenburg, which has been pointed out is their nearest goal, with it being revealed to several party members. Their ultimate goal lying somewhere elsewhere in the desert, needing to stop in Sudenburg to find the proper path. However, your trip across the Great Desert has been harrowing, to say the least, thus far. Before the chaotic happenings of the previous session, you had found yourselves a caravan and whole, gathered all of your resources, and began the trek across the Grand Desert, several weeks out, I might add you. Actually, yeah, at least almost a month out from Lashik at this point. Out into the Grand Desert. It's probably going to take you a few more months, or maybe a month and a half, depending on speed, to make it to Sudenburg as is. Depends on how well you guys roll and how well you do. But to say the least, you have had one might call it a dramatic incident, as you began to suspect something was wrong with Commander Dieter Helwig long ago. And slowly but surely, evidence has been piling up, ultimately culminating in the investigation most of the party conducted into the knights themselves. Late at night, people disappearing from camp, strange rituals having taken place, it appears. Blood offerings of some sort. Where it appears that Commander Helwig, a Knight Panther, sworn to purge chaos from this realm, has fallen in some way, shape, or form, as was revealed to Henry when the Knight Commander called him to his tent, just before all hell quite literally broke loose within the encampment. The commander was challenged to a duel by young Henry without armor, revealing the commander's writhing mass of guts, strange pigmented flesh, with many eyeballs and other things where they should not be. He is most obviously fallen in physical shape, at least. A brief but stalwart attempt on Henry's part to take down the commander of Peg resulted in him being wounded, lying on the ground, when apparently the distraction that the commander had ordered went off a little bit earlier than it should have. Somehow demons were baited into the material through what you guys have grown to know, the tainted food sources that were given to the expedition proper. As your original food stores were sabotaged, and simultaneously, about 5 or 6 days later, a great plethora of food stores were found out in the desert by the knights themselves, gifting it to the caravan, everyone throwing a grand feast in commemoration of not starving to death out here in the Grand Desert. The first night went rather uneventfully. However, the second night, the night that Wolfram decided to give double portions to his subordinates, those men.
My boys loved that stuff. They were so happy. They were so happy.
May have
Proud Papa.
sparked a, one might call it a demonic incursion, as literal demons ripped themselves through members of the expedition, as well as some of the members' flesh being twisted and mutated into foul creatures, some of them forming amalgamations of things, spawns of chaos. And it appears that through somehow in some way, the demons of the blood god were called forward as bloodletters, cut their ways grisly through many a opponent setting themselves upon the inner workings of the caravan. All the while, Henry can attest that the commander packed up all of his forces and fled during the night as this was all taking place. A grand scheme to get a hold of the ledger that was in the possession of Mistress Reyna, once found out about, was taken from Luther's private abode before he was stranded in the Immaterium for a little time due to the interesting proclivities of chaos and its interactions with time, where he did manage to bash his way back into reality, crushing skulls dedicated to the blood god, and was able to pop back in just in time to witness the massacre that was happening within the encampment. However, some things did go decently enough. Mainly, Lucien had an extremely positive impact on your outcome here, as he took the time to rally men and try to get some order in place to try to at least save what he can and rally the troops to get them fighting cohesively. While Nog, Wolfram, and Nog's ogres went to work. Luther, once again, hurling flames in his Johnny Storm, whatever style that he's decided is his new thing. While Henry bled to death out in a tent out in the middle of nowhere. As this was wrapping up, as you guys had all done quite well, I might add, in containing what you can, mitigating the damages you could. Henry ultimately being saved by the mongrel, the bounty hunter that you guys had managed to bring to your side that's been hiking with your caravan. And we had left off after he was being saved, had been somewhat saved, and the rest of you, the fighting had finally died down. So that's where we're picking up. Currently, the fighting is finally stopped. Nazaro, who was also gathering men, approaches the four of you, Wolfram, Nog, Lucy, and Luther. And is trying to take stock of what's happening. Magister Steinhauer, we will need an accounting from the mages. Lucien, Wolfram, Nog, gather as many men as you can, all the survivors. We have an aid station being set up. Some of the harem guard have begun one. Has anyone seen Henry and the remaining knights?
No. We must find him at once.
Quick question. We didn't see any knights, I guess,
No, you did
in
not.
the chaos. Okay.
They had their camp was further out.
Further out. Okay.
I got a question real quick. So
Yes.
now, the reason the demons appeared, they were actually channeled through different humans in our group.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any handgunners left? Because I know who the main group was. I mean, a double portion throw. Come on.
Well,
we don't have to hide the truth here.
we're gonna find that out, Wolfram.
All right. Thank you.
As you say that, Lucien, about we need to find him at once. A horse comes riding up with a young Henry laying across the back of the horse, the mongrel in the saddle. Henry looks like a corpse, somewhat bloody and bruised, as he's unceremoniously kind of just laid over the back. He pulls up with his kind of brigandine rigid helm. The knights betrayed us all. They fled out into the desert.
All of them.
But
There's quite a few in that camp. A few less after I found Henry.
Let me see him quickly.
Henry is conscious, but not doing well, obviously.
Hold still, Henry.
He
Hold
has
still.
a massive wound that crosses from his left shoulder down through where his where his groin would be.
Can Nog
Henry,
attempt
so much-
anything as a heal
So much,
check?
so much blood, Henry. Let me aid you.
It's a lot.
Good.
So
Can-
Luther
can
apparently
try?
wants to burn him instead of Nog
No.
treating him. That's fine.
Yes.
I want to try.
Sure, why not?
What about a compromise?
Let me-
what if Nog treats him right now?
Let me try first, and then if it doesn't work, we can cauterize.
And Luther can channel while Nog is trying. So if
Mhm.
Nog doesn't succeed, then he can hit him with the heat.
All
Go
right,
ahead, good channel.
Henry.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna
a-
do my
that's a good
best,
channel.
Mr. Henry. A 19 under a 38. Get the hell out of here. Plus
pretty
Roy.
good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Plus an additional success. So that's it's one. So it'll be 2 levels of success plus your intelligence bonus. What is that? 4 or
My
5?
intelligence is at 36, so that'd
So
be a
3.
4.
So it'd be
3,
5.
Yeah.
It'd be 5
Yeah.
total hit points you gain back, Henry. You lose your
Right.
prone condition.
Nimble
finally.
Nog, baby.
So you can sit up. You do have an additional fatigue condition from all the shit that's happening. You should have 2 fatigue conditions. No, yeah, 2.
I'm
I would
I'm cooking over
I would
here.
also like to attempt a heal if at all possible before we get in with the fire.
Typically, you're only supposed to get healed once in between
Okay.
things.
Okay.
So Luther can burn him if he wants, but it's not going to heal him.
Go
You
for
just
it.
burn him.
Dang.
Shucks, that's too bad.
Well, my hands are red hot right now.
Damn it, man.
Blue balled once again.
Nazaro just kind of. Damn it! Fucking night! Damn fanatic! And he just kind of is looking around, pacing. Where are the other magisters?
The last I left, they were in the meeting with all of us in the. Then we have like a convo before I got warped.
Luther, that was days ago.
Days ago, you say? Has no one noticed my absence? Surely, my friends.
Your
No?
apprentice told us that you were doing your own thing. Said that you would be preoccupied in your studies.
Unfortunately, apparently I've been gone for days. The last I knew, we were discussing our plans. I went to lay down in my study, and apparently Kepler betrayed us in that moment and stole something very valuable to me and the expedition.
Nazaro raises his eyebrow for a moment. Let me get this straight. Your apprentice was not. Are you saying he was with you the whole time?
Well, at least someone that apparently that looked like him. He's decapitated now in my study. But yes.
You took his head off?
Not me. Some chaos fiend somehow was able to enter my abode, slash me in the back, and kill Kepler. Take the book and vanish away, locking me inside apparently for days.
Your apprentice has been coming to meetings, my friend. On your behalf, this whole time.
When was the last time you saw dear Kepler? Tonight?
In fact, yes. We just left a meeting moments before this chaos erupted.
I wonder if it is the same individual who trapped me in the sectioned off room I have. Perhaps he was able to manipulate his appearance. Appeared we had been infiltrated.
I find
Absolutely.
it hard to believe that the Magisters would be fooled so easily.
I sense the power of Zeech and trickster god of magic, chaos, ever changing.
This is beyond my scope, my friend. Let's just gather our resources, find the Magisters, and just meet
First-
me. Yes.
Henry, can you speak? As I grab him with my
yes.
hands. What
I was
happened?
about to
you, good
say,
boy?
Luther, that you seem to be having a lot of people mysteriously dying amongst your presence.
I mean, not necessarily mysteriously, but yes, unfortunately, it does seem to be a quirk that I've picked up. Apparently, apprentices, especially. Let's not dwell on that. Henry, you're the focus here. What happened to you?
Well, I'm sure you know by now the commander called me to the tent and then proceeded to try to kill me.
Where's your armor, Henry?
It
You're
is back
dead.
in my tent. As I think we've established now, was a trick by Theobald to lure me out of the tent. But then Theobald also tried to kill me if it wasn't for our friend here.
You were doing well enough.
Mongol, did you
They-
kill Theobald?
I put one in his chest. He got up and ran, though. Faster than he should have.
Shame.
I don't know much about magic, but the commander was appeared to be covered in eyes.
Work of Zeech. What I can't understand is the presence of all this coronate demons around here. The bloodletters. The ones with the fiery
Bloodletters.
swords.
I did not see any
Unless-
demons.
Well, there were demons here in the camp, along with Chaos Spawn and Demons of Corn.
Where's Baudry?
I assumed he was with you and your retinue.
I am it.
My God, where's Roy? Roy? Roy?
Right here, Governor. Sitting on top of Nog's shoulders.
Sweet Roy.
There's blood spattered across him, all over Nog as well.
He just pops right up.
Oh,
As you begin to disperse looking for individuals, Henry, I'm assuming you're going to go look for your knights, Baudry.
Yeah,
and
you can go back to my tent, you know.
As you go back to your tent, you find
Luther yells, put some armor on, Henry.
that the place where your tent and your knights were bedded down is just it's in tatters and ruins. Most of it looks like it burned. At some points there was a fire for some reason. The more disturbing thing is that there are massive bodies lying all around your encampment. And as you approach, you see Baudry and a few other of your knights lying next to them. Their armor has been ripped and torn. They look bloodied. You assume they're dead at first sight. But one by one, Baudry first begins to wake up as you approach Henry. And they kind of look towards you. For a moment, their eyes are strangely a different shape before they flash normal. They kind of look towards you. You notice that all the bodies lying around them are ogres. And they look like they've been ripped to pieces. In fact, they look a lot like the man-eaters that accompanied Nog into battle.
What's going on here?
You're not there, Nog. I'm sorry.
Audrey, what in Emperor's name happened here?
I do not know. My head is splitting. Sir, I apologize. Are you okay? You look injured. As he steps up, as he stands, Henry. He stands a few inches taller than he used to be. A lot more muscular underneath the tattered remnants.
Yes.
The other men have similar things have happened to them as well.
Luther talked of demons attacking, but there's been one large demon to take out these ogres.
I do not know, sir. I just remember so angry. There were so many of them, and then these slabs of meat were just slain wherever they were, and I thought I was going to be next, and then you've seen, I just woke up and they were dead.
In the heat of battle, many things can happen, Baudry. I'm sorry I wasn't here for you.
He goes to sit down. He says, if you will forgive me, my lord, I need to feel like I need to rest. My stomach doesn't feel right.
Of course, Baudry, take all the rest you need. I'm gonna go see if I can find any more injured or any more survivors.
Mm-hmm. Henry, as you say that, I'm assuming you're on a horse.
Yes, if I can find one.
As you are on the horse beginning to look for more survivors, you notice that most of the ogres have their guts ripped open, and vast quantities of their insides are no longer there. You look back towards your men, who all kind of sit on the ground, clutching at their stomachs, and just kind of leave them to hopefully recover whatever injuries have befallen them.
That's nothing to worry about. Everything's fine.
Wolfram,
Yes.
you have a much harder time finding anyone, because every single handgunner that you come across is dead. Either split open from the inside of a demon being birthed from their literal blood, or formed into an amalgamation of some horrible creature. Of course, you know that there were also deserters, Wolfram. You saw some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some people apparently fled with the knights.
Cowards. They'll die like the rest.
As you're coming to this kind of conclusion, Wolfram, as you're walking around, Lucien, you have a little bit easier of a time. You've already formed up some of the more veteran troops of the Bold Bastards. Unfortunately, you've lost quite a few men in this. As the night goes on, Nog, you realize that all of the ogres that kind of ran into battle with you are all dead. Luther, you can't find the Magisters. And it is well into when the sun is beginning to rise, that everyone is gathered as much as they can. When Magister Aldebrand comes out of his tent that is somehow intact. Many of the survivors at this point are being given food by one and only Feng Shi, the Far Eastern peddler that you guys have taken into your retinue. But somehow his like caravan is fine. The harem guard took a little bit of a hit, but ultimately they are the only reason why many of your carts still exist. You have lost more than you gained, for sure. Specifically, what you have left to the expedition as Hildebrand and Luther, as well as Nazaro, gather for a meeting, and Nazaro lays out your resources. Currently, there are only 2 Magisters accounted for. Magister Aldebrand and Magister Luther Steinhauer. Between them, a single apprentice under Magister Aldebrand. You have 1 regiment of veteran militia that you were able to piece back together. These are the Bold Bastard original soldiers. About 100 men. There are only 10 knights left. Strangely enough, all of them were under the leadership of Henry to begin with. You only have 2 constructs left standing. One of them being Ignis, the other being the large hulking monstrosity that is shrouded in strange, kind of like shimmering wards, that is Aldebrand's construct. As well as the harem guard, still led by Guard Captain Abasi, as she did survive. Fengshi the peddler, and of course the mongrel. But other than that, the rest of your resources have greatly diminished. Food stores are somewhat disappointing, as well as water. Because if you remember, you had somewhere around 100 sellswords. As information is being gathered, you come to find out that these sellswords have either deserted or they have fallen with the knights and fled, taking with them most of the food and water that you had. What little you have left were the provisions that Feng Shi had protected as best he could. You're not sure how he protected him, but this old, like withered-looking man somehow protected himself during this erupting chaos. But that is the state of the expedition, my friends. We have maybe a week or so, maybe 2, before we hit the Vulture Mountain. That is our first stop. We will go on rations, of course, but if we do not manage to find food and water, we will perish in the sands.
Where's the oasis? I thought we went to an oasis before we got to Vulture Mountain. Or we were headed towards one.
The oasis that you were talking about, I think you'd already been to that and then left.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry, guys.
I think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure. Needless to say, Vulture Mountain is your next stop.
Good thing Luther's back and we have someone with outdoor survival.
It's true. That is going to be a thing.
So we're working with Najario, basically trying to form back into a column.
Yes.
And double best pace to Vulture Mountain.
Yes.
Okay.
As far as the carts are concerned, you only have a few left that can support pretty much anything. Most of them were burned or destroyed. You have, of course, Magister, or not Magister, Feng Shi's caravan, his little cart, with all his knickknacks and baubles. It's loaded down with all kinds of shit. He has taken responsibility for your food stuff and what water you have. Nobody's arguing with him. You have 4 more additional survivable carts that can be pulled with what remaining horses you have. But at this point, everybody's going to be pretty much on foot except for probably Henry and his knights, because there are no extra horses. And God forbid something happened to one of their horses, because they don't have spares anymore.
What about my horse, Felicity?
You can have your horse Felicity, Luther. Why
Dead.
not?
What about Buttercup?
Buttercup's dead. Buttercup's dead.
Okay. Scene.
Does Luther need a horse? No, because he rides a construct. But it's fine. He wants to be, selfish.
I get one. It's part of my my stuff. It's a light war horse.
And I should
trained
take
it
it
myself.
from you. I should kill it right now. Regardless, though, that is the current state of the expedition. Nazar kind of lays it all out. Magister Aldebrand looks towards Luther. This is quite dire straits, my friend. I can't help but notice that Magister Weiss has not resurfaced.
I noticed it myself, Magister Aldebrand. Unfortunately, I hear you've been talking to my apprentice Kepler over the past few days.
Indeed, he was present in your stead, or at least that's what he said.
Did you notice anything off about Kepler? I mean, more than usual.
Well, other than the fact that he was acting as your voice, not so much. Weiss seemed oddly perturbed the entire time, but that is pretty standard for the Magister.
Unfortunately, he has, I guess we've described everything that's happened to everyone, right? Like to Nazaro and...
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I won't have to rehash it. Okay.
I'm going to assume, since he has not resurfaced, that Magister Weiss has joined the enemy.
I don't want to jump to conclusions. Perhaps he was taken. Similar to I. I was lost for days. No one knew. Perhaps he has been sequestered, kidnapped.
Interesting. Taken, you say?
Taken. Or at least trapped.
That will be something for me to ponder then. Do you still have our plans, Master Steiner?
Fortunately, I do not.
He
they were
looks very anxious as you say that, Luther.
Unfortunately, I do not, Master Aldebrand.
Taken by who, Luther?
Did I know it was Theobald? Was it Theobald?
You didn't see a face.
Okay. I didn't know if I knew who he was or not. I explained my situation. I got thrown into my pocket dimension. Saw Kepler there, which at least appeared to be Kepler. He seemed to act like Kepler. Then I was attacked from behind by some Chaos Knight. He overpowered me, killed Kepler, and took the book.
That is concerning. Oh. Well, then we must make due haste, friends.
You have looked over the battlefield, Master Albrand. As you are my elder, I would ask you. The knight that faced me apparently to be a servant of Zinch, but he wielded some tokens of corn.
It is odd indeed. Usually the followers of the Dark Gods do not intermingle so easily, unless they are of the more unified nature.
From my understanding, that is a very rare occurrence.
I would say so myself. I did notice, at least, that it appeared that let's just say that the realms of chaos are fickle, to say the least. And when one performs a ritual, that is not always the result that is desired comes forth. Perhaps whatever that commander put into place did not go as planned, and he drew instead the ire of the blood god rather than his own patron. That would explain why they were cutting down everything in their path, not just our own.
I will say, my friends, I am concerned about a large, armored, well-trained force, mobile force that has escaped us and is now presumably waiting for us to make a mistake in the wilds of the Araby Desert to strike again and perhaps finish the job.
Yes, there would be... well, to be honest with you, Luther, I'm more concerned of the loss of our guide. I doubt the knights will circle back to finish us off. They could have done that yesterday. I think they're going to make all haste towards our destination.
It's going to be hard for us to catch them.
This is
we'll have to...
This is all well and good, Luther, but if we do not get food and water, we will die long before we make any decisions, my friend.
Very true, very true. Let us focus on that. Food and water.
The mountain, as you can see, you guys can see the Vulture Mountain. It's one of the only things on the horizon. That is our destination. We have about, hopefully a few days, maybe a week at most. Yes, I say I don't want to lose time. I understand we need to move as quick as possible, but would it be better to move at night or during the day, during the heat?
What do the...
It might be better for us to be...
Go ahead.
No, Luther, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, what do the... what does Captain Abbasi say? Does she recommend traveling at night or during the day?
Abbasi would be invited to this meeting, of course. She is oddly quiet. Well, she's always quiet. As you address her, she kind of nods towards you. It is not my place to make those decisions. I merely protect the caravan.
I simply ask, as a native of these lands, what is the preferred method of travel?
My station did not see me leaving the city. I could not tell you with confidence what would be best.
Well,
Now, if we're concerned about us being attacked, seems to me that the last few attacks have been at night. It might be better to be awake and moving at night. But if we are moving at night, we're going to miss game. We're going to stumble into spots we don't want, drum sand, something like that, or potentially go the wrong direction. So, as much as I loathe it, it might be best to be moving during the day. We will need our eyes about us.
Lucy and
Who's
Luther
going-
always know which way is north.
it's true.
Luther as well.
Quick question, Lucian. Sorry, Lucian. Luther, Henry. Who's going to step up? Henry, you're in charge of the knights now. Luther, you're in charge of the magistrates. Who's going to step up? We need a leader for the column. We can't always have a council and a democracy decide stuff. We need a leader on this. It's a soldier me talking.
I believe Wolfram that Luther was given charge, as he is the highest ranking as a magister now.
Excellent. No questions about it.
My elder is Master Aldebrand.
I, of course, would gratefully defer to you, Master Luther. I feel like my talents would be best used preparing for, perhaps preparing for whenever we catch up to the good commander.
Yes.
Is Luther young, experienced?
Yes.
Not quite.
Well, let us travel during the day, so we do not get lost. If it becomes too much of a burden, we can always try to do the opposite, travel during the evening.
Very well. I will let the column know. Are we leaving now? Are we making haste?
As I assume, as long as we can gather as much what remains of our caravan, we should head out as soon as we can.
Very well. It will be done, Magister Steinhauer.
As for Fing Shi, I'm sure you all noticed Fing Shi's caravan remained untouched. Did anyone happen to see, during the conflict, what he was able to do to keep...
The, your harem guard captain, speaks up at this point.
Was he?
The Easterner was not approached. None of the creatures would get within 10 feet of his caravan. Almost as if they were repelled.
Well, that's interesting. Perhaps I shall talk to Mr. Fing Shi.
Caravan is gathered, beginning to set out. Did anybody want to do anything other than Luther, apparently?
Henry will tell his men to dress lightly, and then he will also send 2 of them out as like advanced scouts.
Okay. No
Since
problem.
We have horses.
Do you want Bodri to be one of those?
No, I'm going to send just two of my regular dudes.
Two regular guys? Okay. 2 regular knights. No problem.
I need someone to talk to.
Ooh, how many man-eaters do we have left?
How many who?
Man-eaters?
None.
None.
They're with the handgunners.
Except for Nog.
I'm
Nog
hoping
is your
Nog will
only
be with...
man-eater. So there you go.
That sucks,
And
bro.
I don't have any ogres left. They're all
Nope. They're all dead.
the veteran militia was just regular soldier guys.
They are they are veterans now. They are the original bold bastards that came over on the ships. They are hardened soldiers at this point, so they are considered veteran militia now.
Just like their founder.
Just like their founder. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of a modge podge of different weapons, mostly swords and shields. Yeah. Some of them want 2 swords, a couple spearmen, some pikemen, kind of all just mixed together.
Non-missile weapons.
Yeah.
So the only horses we have are for Henry and his crew and Luther, of course.
Apparently Luther. And all right. Yeah, apparently Luther has one.
Luther's big man in charge.
He's got to have one. Yeah, exactly. He's leading the caravan. He has to have a horse.
All right. I will gather the rest of my gear in my chest, and I guess I'll start walking near the front of the column just so I have pretty good perception. It might be useful up there. Plus, hopefully I can shoot something.
One of the guard captain stops you, Wolfram. And she says, your talents would be best used atop the lead cart, my friend.
Oh, I'm not going to say no to her. That's Xena right there. I'm going to get right on that. Yeah. Okay. So I'll go to a cart and enjoy my ride.
Enjoy your ride, Wolfram.
Watch your step, Lucian.
Nog's foot slogging in. Yes, Luther.
Would you allow me to make a perception roll?
For what?
Just to notice Wolfram's hand. You know, if it was injured, you know?
Whoa. It is wrapped up,
It's wrapped tightly.
Well, he's wounded. I like to heal people, you know?
The teeth are actually punching out of the cloth, so you can't even see it anyway.
There's no blood. It's wrapped firmly. I'll tell you what. He is hiding this. So I will allow your perception roll. It will be difficult though. It'll be to -30.
I'm gonna roll it anyway.
Go ahead.
I don't have a good chance, but there's a 1 in a million. And I got it.
Oh my God! It's 1 in a million. Oh Jesus Christ! Oh man, would you let me roll right? See if I can roll one against them.
Let's see if you can. Let's see if you can roll one.
Roll the 1. Jesus
roll the 1.
Christ.
Let's see what you got.
All right, I'll use resilience point.
No, I mean you can if you want to, man.
All right, so what's he see, huh?
Wolfram. So Luther, as you're on your horse, you see Wolfram.
Wasted. You wasted that roll on me.
Wolfram, with your critical success, Luther, you see as Wolfram is climbing up into the lead cart, he reaches with his right hand, and you notice it bandaged. Yeah, heavily bandaged. Around his knuckles, all the way down. It doesn't look bloody though. It just looks overly bandaged for some reason. You're not sure exactly why, but he kind of puts his hand up there, grips it, and then pulls himself up. I'll say also, Luther, because it was a critical success, you do notice that he slips for a second. He slips, but he doesn't fall off. Like his one hand just holds him there for a second before he rights himself and pulls himself back onto the cart.
A good bite.
He's got a hell of a grip. Strength. He must have a hell of a grip all of a sudden.
A hell of a grip there, Wolfram. Never knew.
Get a lot of exercise.
A lot of time alone, I think.
Damn it, man. Did we have to go there? Damn it.
Just gotta polish my rifle, bro.
Exactly. Fantastic.
Yes.
So, as everyone's gathering, setting out, Luther, of course, wanted to talk to Feng-Chi as well. So let's go ahead and get that rolling.
Just as we're moving, we'll swing by Feng-Chi's. I guess he's got a cart.
He's got a large cart that he sits on the top of. It's pulled by these weird-looking oxen, large creatures.
Okay. Yeah. Master Feng-Chi.
Oh, Master Luther, yes.
It's been I couldn't help but notice your caravan was unmolested in our
Oh,
fight the other night.
it appears that all the talismans worked. I did not know if they would. It was a mystery to me as well, my friend. I bought these off of a strange-looking nomad several years ago.
When
And
you
he
get the
kind of-
time,
he points out like these several different like little and it's hard to tell them apart from all the other shit draped off this cart.
yeah.
But he points
so much
out a
stuff.
couple little talismans, and you do notice, Luther, that they look like like magical wards built out of what looks like twigs that have been kind of like wrapped together in symbols that are in fact focal points for magic, for the winds, specifically the wind of light.
Do they look like Kimrian?
I guess you could give me a lore magic, and we'll see what you come up with.
One would have been good here too.
Yes, it would have.
57. Let me double check what my lower magic is. That is 1 degree of success.
1 degree.
You could have had so many if you'd saved that roll, bro.
I know.
That is true. You could have. All right.
This is
the lore of light. Let me.
I had to get a 5.
Let me find this.
At a minus 30.
All right. There's the lore of light.
And you're like 1 in a million, and you roll a 1. It was pretty glorious, bro. It was pretty fantastic.
Okay. You do notice that these do look Kimrian in nature.
Similar to old Lucian's.
Yes,
pendant?
similar to what Lucian's pendant he has. Although Lucian's pendant is made out of like a silver material. This is like somebody took some twigs and formed a symbol out of them. However, you would notice how many degrees of success did you have?
1.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell that it is summoning a wind, the wind of light, to it. You cannot tell the exact spell that's at work, and it's very faint, Luther. So faint that you find it hard to believe this would be able to repel a demonic force. But obviously it did in some way or fashion, probably in some way that you're just not well versed enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, the wind of light is the hardest to see.
It is.
So, well, you'll perhaps when we get a slower time, I can take a greater look at your runes you have across your beautiful wagon.
Of course, thank you very much. Luther, now that you're really looking at this wagon, it looks strangely shaped. The whole thing looks weird. It's got like a weird, like dome-like shape to it. It's just odd. But with that conversation ended, Feng Shi just kind of nods towards you, and you go about your way.
Yeah, listen.
Okay. With that, let us go into our first roll. The mongrel is also going to be taking up a more pivotal role. He does not have his own horse, though he is good on a horse. So for now, he's going to be riding with Wolfram.
Can't wait to see if he'll let me use his gun.
Sure, Wolfram. Sure.
Yeah. I'm asking him.
as you guys are all riding together the first day, he does offer his services when it comes to tracking and hunting if necessary. But I need somebody to give me a survival roll to see how we do for the next week.
Like to pass the buck to Luther.
Survival, huh?
Yep. So this is going to be for 5 days of travel.
Oh, it's not. You
good.
don't want that to be me.
I just rolled for it.
How good's the mongrel?
Yours is the best, Luther. No, there you go.
Okay.
You have
yeah.
the best intelligence.
You have the best survival out of everybody. The mongrel's only going to assist for finding food, not for
not for navigating.
Not for navigating.
Okay. Here we go. Do I get any bonus for always knowing where north is?
That's going to be a big no. Big no on that one.
I had
it
to
doesn't
ask.
matter.
Here we go.
I hate it.
Oh man.
93. I'll reroll.
That's pretty bad. 93's pretty bad.
Reroll. It's too bad. Too bad. Oh, I will have to use one more thing to make it a success. I can make it a success though, but simply a success. Yeah.
All right, just a success. Okay, well let me go to these other encounters.
Oh wait,
then.
no, sorry, that was already a success. I apologize.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your intel's got to be 50 plus already.
Just a success.
Just a success. Yeah.
Okay. All right, roll me a D100, please.
22.
22.
Wasted.
I know, wasted.
All right. As you are traveling, the weather is not harsher than normal, but it is not easy going either. Next 5 days are taken traveling during the day. You will have, each of you, just because you're traveling during the day, you will have a level of fatigue at all times because you rest it off. When you travel during the waking hours, you get it again. So just remember that going forward. The first 4 days go uneventfully. You're just trogging, just trekking it out there on your way to the mountain. You're getting close to the mountain at this point. On the 5th day, the mongrel calls out to Luther that he's been noticing something and he thinks he sees something out in the distance. I've been noticing. I think that there's people ahead of us on foot, not on horses. I've noticed a bit of a trail out to the side. If I'm not mistaken, I think I see somebody over the next embankment, hunched down low, trying to keep out of sight.
Thank you. What's his name? Mongrel, but what's his real name?
His real name is... Hold on, please. Name is Walter Kirsch.
Walter Kirsch. Okay. Thank you, Kirsch. I will let Henry know and his knights, and perhaps we can go take a closer look.
All right.
Wolfram, would you care to accompany us?
Oh, absolutely. Getting kind of tired of just looking at the horizon right now.
Here, give me your hand.
Reach out with my opposite hand so I can touch my handgun with my.
With his right hand.
Well, it's actually it's my right hand. It's my bad hand. So I'll hold the rifle with my right hand.
Yeah, exactly. Reaches out with his left hand. You grab it.
My bare hand. Reach down.
You grab it, Luther.
I want to make sure I have a secure grip.
Exactly. Pull him down onto the horse.
I'll put him down onto the horse. I'm gonna ride off to get Lucy and Nog and Henry.
As you're collecting them, Lucien, your second, Johanna DeVry, is still with you. She survived, thank God, the event. Do you wish me to accompany you, sir?
Yes, but as always, it is up to you.
Jeez. I will do so then. I will. I feel like you may need some protection. No?
Always.
Good. And Johanna will be joining you. Henry. Everyone approaches you, since you're kind of towards the front. Luther informs you of the huddled masses ahead. What would you guys like to do?
I guess we're riding up.
I assume let's ride out ahead of the caravan.
Are you guys doing this with stealth, or are you just going to ride straight up ahead?
I mean, if we can do a stealth, obviously, but I mean, we're on horseback. I don't know how stealthy we can.
You can peel off, maybe. It depends. We'll see how your stealth rolls go. If you guys want to try.
I just want to inform.
I'd like to try.
Nazaro.
Okay.
And
Nazaro will basically, he calls a halt. He says, gentlemen, we're taking a break. And ladies, I apologize. We're taking a break. Gonna do a little bit of scouting. We'll be back.
And we will, I assume, try to stealth unless people just want to charge.
Okay. Why don't you guys give me stealth rolls then?
Right.
A lot of you.
Okay.
I get one from Johanna. Critical success for Johanna.
I have one success, like one pass to make it, so just one
critical
full success.
failure for Henry. He don't give no fucks.
I'm re-rolling it.
Oh, to an 8.
That was
okay. Yes.
the worst of the worst.
Nog does not survive.
Okay. 53. Lucien, I'm assuming that's a fail.
That's a fail.
Okay. All in all, you guys are doing decently. Luther, I'm assuming that's a fail as well.
It is 2 degrees.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you guys don't make it too far. You move to peel off, kind of acting like you're maybe, I don't know, looking for game or maybe for a nearby water source or something. And then you begin to try to slowly cut towards the huddled masses. When it's quite obvious that at this point that the individuals have seen you, because they duck down further and you kind of lose sight of them. But you know the direction that you saw them, and you just begin to make haste towards them. After about 15 minutes or so, riding hard, the rest of you kind of like running behind them. Just a reminder, you guys are doing this in the broad sun. Everyone's at 1 fatigue level. You make your way to the embankment that you saw the people cowered behind. Who's going to be the first one to step up to the top to look over?
Oh, I think we know who is. Am I still on Luther's horse?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring me a little closer. I'm gonna kind of hop off with give him a slap on the back with the hand he's not so interested in. See if he notices anything there, and then kind of creep up to the top with the expectation I'm gonna peek over and do a perception check, but it never goes as I expect. So there we go.
You get to the top. You kind of move over the top, Wolfram, and kind of like peek over with your rifle at the ready, and you see a trail of feet, like footprints. And off in the distance, you see running on foot a collection of probably 30 or 40 men just hightailing it out into the desert, running away.
I guess I'm gonna stand up and motion the guys over. Kind of point that out. That's very bizarre. Does it look like they're fleeing something, or does it look like they're trying to get away from us? How about this? Does it look like a panic? Is it a panic run? Is it a controlled run? Like they know what they're doing, or is
most certainly panic.
Okay. I would like to look the direction they came from to see what they're running away from.
The direction they're running away from is you, Wolfram, and the rest of your companions.
How far away at this point?
Not very far, like a couple 100 feet. Like they it looks like whenever they realized you were coming for them, they immediately just began running, and they're not, I mean, you guys are on horses and whatnot. They're not going to be able to run away from you. There's nothing for them to hide behind. But they are attempting.
Let's try to stop them and see what they are doing. Come along.
Okay. You guys begin to move closer. It's at this point, Luther, are you leading, Luther? Is Henry leading?
I'm assuming, yeah, the people on horseback and Nog probably.
Okay.
Leading. Nog just running.
Yeah, Nog runs as fast as the horses, so.
Yeah.
So it's at this point that you see, in the panic, you see several people drop to a crouch and turn around. You see the glint of steel as rifles are brought to bear.
Can I cast a spell?
You immediately cast a spell, huh?
I would like to try to cast a spell.
What are you gonna cast, Luther?
I want to cast Dome.
Ooh. Shit. Let's see what you got, Luther.
All right.
Okay. I'm trying to channel.
Channeling. You said cast, you bastard.
I said no time to channel. Oh. That's gonna fail. I can't do it. too high. I failed.
Damn it, Luther.
I need a low roll.
You begin to try to channel.
It was a success in the magic test, just not success levels.
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah.
So it's a fail.
It's a fail, yes.
Yes, so it's a fail. Just know that you failed. Yeah, there you go. So, with that being said, Luther, you begin to try to rapidly channel the winds of Akshi. Unfortunately, not fast enough. As the three men open fire on Henry, Luther, and Nog, riding their horses. Wolfram is shielded by Luther's body, so the shot will be directed
I like
Luther.
the sounds of that.
Lucien and Johanna are on foot behind Nog, not as fast, but moving as quick as they can, so they're not within range. The three of you...
Is this like a surprise round they get on us?
Yes, basically, yes.
Okay,
You're going to return fire?
Aware. Well, I have combat aware, so I get a roll. I think just a regular perception check to see if I figure out they're turning to shoot us first.
Okay.
All right. Let me see that here. Because if I can get up on them, I'm going to shoot one of them, or try to.
Mm-hmm. That's
all right.
91
so
fail.
I was not able to tell that they were turning around. So,
well, yeah, you're kind of taken aback, Wolfram. The first shot is going to be towards Henry. That is going to be a miss on Henry, barely a miss, I might add. All right, towards Luther. That is a hit. Not only is it a hit, it's a shot to the head, Luther.
Don't worry, I've got you.
Volleys. Boom, boom, boom.
course it is.
Luther, you take one to the dome. It's gonna
Fucking Skaven hitting him in the dome.
It's gonna be 16 wounds, Luther.
That puts me at 0.
I was gonna say that
With
sounds
your
like
toughness?
a lot for Luther.
Yeah. Just right at 0.
Luther hits 0. He goes prone, Wolfram. You gain the prone condition. You don't get a scar because it didn't bring you past it. But he hits 0, Wolfram. His head flashes back, and you have to hold him from falling off the horse.
I'm gonna reach down with my hand, maybe hold him right here, like behind here, so he might feel it like
He's just-
slowly gnawing at him. That's what he's gonna wake up to.
Wolfram, Luther's just like, oh shit.
He's also
Nog,
gonna feel the stock of my rifle right on his head, so I can balance.
Nog, you're also getting shot at. Unfortunately, you're a big target, so they get a bonus to it. They're gonna shoot you. However, it does hit your gut plate, Nog. So it's gonna be the chest. It is only going to be 12 wounds, Nog.
Oh, only 12 wounds.
It,
Minus 9.
it bypasses 1 point of armor because it's a piercing. But the rest of it, you mitigate it by whatever the rest of your armor is and your toughness bonus.
So 3 for armor and toughness is 5, so 8 off of that. So
Yeah, you take
that
4
only makes
wounds.
4.
Yeah, you take 4 wounds. Nothing. A flesh wound for Nog. So nothing.
It feels like more.
No, definitely not. Just a.
Ding.
Rory goes, boy, they're shooting at us, Master Nog.
You better prepare some of your Rory's little roasters there.
As you guys are all just charging in, the one of the shots kind of like ricochets off Henry's shield. The Wolfram, unfortunately, you're gonna have to make a choice. If you want to return fire, you're gonna have to drop Luther in the sand.
I have pistols.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to get in closer range to use the pistol. Right now, you're
okay.
like rifle range.
Is there? I'll drop Luther in the sand. I'll actually
Fuck
see
yes.
if there's a way I can. Hold on, I'm gonna be nice about this. I want to see like a depression. I'm not gonna stay. It's not weekend at Bernie's, bro. I mean, I want to have a depression or something like that. Is there an opportunity for me to drop in a safe spot?
Of course,
No,
yeah.
I'll just hold on to it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, Wolfram. You take the reins as he just flies off the side. He just kind of slips off, and then falls into the dirt. He rolls a few
I'm
times,
saving you.
and he's prone, laying there in the dirt. Wolfram, you can take a shot back with your rifle if you'd like.
Okay. There's 3.
Yeah, there are 3 of them.
All 3 just shot.
Yes,
gotta reload
it's
this.
like a
right.
volley, essentially.
The one that shot Luther.
Okay.
I'd like to call him out. I'm gonna take a shot at him and see if we can do it. All right.
We'll see if you can tell which one it is. I mean, they're very far away.
Well,
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Give me a second here.
I'm surprised they hit you guys, I'll be honest with you.
Okay, hold on. So that is
Damn!
8 levels of success.
Yeah. What's the damage on that, Wolfram? Because
I
it's a
think it's
headshot.
17.
Okay, yeah, that's
Hold on here. Okay, so it's
yeah, it's a lot.
11 plus 8, so 19 wounds.
19. Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought it was.
I'm
gonna be a lot.
avenging you, Luther.
As Wolfram draws the bead, his rifle belts outwards. One of the kneeling rifleman's head just explodes, and just pops in gore everywhere. Explodes outwards. The men next to him just kind of like, you hear them cry out as they stumble away, dropping their guns and just running towards the rest of the fleeing people. I'm assuming you guys are giving pursuit, or
Yes. They just killed Luther.
I'm gonna go back and grab Luther. I didn't know they were gonna run away.
There's a dad.
I can't, yeah.
okay,
It's all
Wolfram
fun and games
stops,
when he's conscious, but yeah, when
Circles.
he's not, I gotta take care of him.
circles back around to Luther.
Loop something around his ankle and just
Who-
drag him.
I will say Luther is going. I'm just going to voice for him. He's going to use one of his resolve points to remove his prone condition, which gives him 1 wound, which means he can function like a normal person right now. He is,
Okay,
however,
cool.
does have an additional fatigue condition. So Luther's down up to 2 fatigue, but he has 1 wound. The rest of you
Let me take the reins this time.
still pursuing as Luther's like, oh, my head is a big gash. Gash on the side of his
They
head.
shot me.
I imagine it was just like across the brow. It didn't break the skull. It just kind of ricocheted off. He's hurt bad, obviously, but you know, nothing mortal. If you guys are still pursuing,
Yes.
Run them down. Run them all down.
this is not going to be. There won't be a check or anything involved. They can't outrun you.
Luther now? Is that what
Just
And-
wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, well,
couple-
can we
What were you
see
gonna-
like any, distinguishing features about them?
Yeah, hell.
Why
Why are they
get
so afraid of us and so hostile?
As you get closer, you see that they're wearing like tattered, kind of like makeshift cloths over their bodies. As you begin to get closer,
Like
you
cultists?
notice that some of them kind of flare up, and you recognize the colors underneath as expedition members.
Those Curly Tillians.
They left us, those traitors.
Specifically, these are, as you get closer, you realize that these are some of the mercenary deserters that took a lot of your food stores.
Are like good food stores or corrupted food stores?
You're not sure. You know that a bunch of stuff was missing.
Did we have uncorrupted food stores?
You did have some.
Yeah.
Feng
we had like a
Shi
small amount.
has been managing some stuff for you.
But not the stuff they're carrying.
You're not sure.
Well, yeah, let's run them down and find out. No, it's feast time.
Oh.
Who are we running down? Let's go get him.
As you get closer and closer, eventually they just, as at the sight of Nog, they break. They begin to kind of like scatter. There's about 30 of them. They just begin to like go in different directions, trying to get away as much as they can.
Is there one within arm's reach?
Of course, there is Nog for you. You
Yeah.
close the distance.
I just want to eat
just
one of their
salivating.
friends. Yeah.
Luther just wants
Just
to
eat
shout
one of
out.
them in front of their friends.
Luther wants to shout out, capture as many as you can.
I'm sure Nog
My
doesn't
belly.
hear that as he bites the first one's head off alive.
Yeah.
Grabs him.
Is there
Nog,
not?
real fast. Nog, as you eat the first man,
Yeah.
you literally put his whole, he's screaming.
Yeah. Oh,
As
it makes
you
it taste
punch
better.
down over his head
It's a
and
little
bite it
pop.
off like
Like
a
a grape.
cherry.
Yeah.
And as it pops in your mouth like a cherry tomato,
Delicious.
and suddenly you have an overwhelming sense of euphoria,
Oh yeah.
and you see glimpses of this gentleman's past
Ooh. Yeah.
as
Was he a
suddenly
ladies' man?
you see a vision of a very, we wouldn't say a very hygienic individual, blackened teeth,
Mhm.
has a strange looking like limp to one to his right leg.
Mhm.
But you see him grabbing what appears to be crates of food with a few other of these people that you see in their presence. And you see them loading them onto a cart. And then you see the knights, the fallen knights, butchering those around him as he begins to flee away as they take the carts and go about their way.
Interesting. So the knights that are missing were taking. They were taking the carts.
It appears, yes, that they took some of the foods, some of the carts
Those
from the
knights,
caravan,
They took some of our food and ran off.
food
Those
and water, it
bastards.
appears,
These bastards.
for their journey.
Definitely got to get them now. That was delicious, by the way. It's good.
It was. Nog, you're like, oh, you're like,
Good way
maybe
to get
another
some-
one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean,
Nice.
hey, fellas, if we ever need to interrogate anyone, I've got a plan.
Were you going to say something, Wolfram?
Do we see like a leader, like a head? Is it a mob, or is there someone who appeared to?
This
I mean-
looks like a mob. It
Yeah.
looks like if there was any leadership, they're either dead or they've broken like the rest of them at this point. Nog is beginning to feast. He's grabbing people hither and dither, and he's biting people's heads off.
That's really it's a light snack, you know. Just popping heads here and there.
Mhm. Henry,
I
do you
guess
run
I'll,
anybody down, or
Of course.
of course Henry begins to
You
run
know,
people down.
I
as
just
well.
saw my leader get sniped from
And so
from
Henry
afar.
just begins to. He begins
Honestly,
to-
it's my fate in all games. You know, my head, I get sniped all the goddamn time. Video games doesn't matter.
This game popped you off.
It doesn't matter.
Off guard.
He's back up right now. He's just a little dazed. But Henry's running people down. Wolfram, I'm assuming you're shooting into the masses.
Yeah, I assume that Luther has me just guiding the horse directly at him. It's not a war horse though, but still to,
I will
at least I
say,
can blast
like,
him.
they break down to the point where
Right,
some of
warhorse?
them are like trying to fight, and it's not going well. You run most of them down until there's a small amount left. There's going to be about there's 10 people left by the time they just stop and just kind of lay down in the dirt. What are you guys going to
Prisoners.
do with the deserters?
Interrogation time for Luther.
That's right. Let's put him to the question. Start a fire.
Oh, my head.
It's-
Is the one that shot me still alive?
He is.
Oh,
kinda
he
looks-
is?
You.
Yeah, he kind of looks at you, Luther. He looks a little nervous as you point out towards him.
You shot me.
It wasn't me. It was the other guy. It was the guy's head exploded. I swear.
Oh,
I'm going to offer one of my pistols to Luther if he wishes to shoot back.
I'm going to try to compose myself. I've been shot by one of our former compatriots. I was hoping to have a conversation like civilized individuals, but you stopped that from happening. And see, now my ogre over here he's eating people. Yeah.
Nog is currently literally eating someone. Rory has already put a bib on Nog.
Yeah, which
I love
He
it.
doesn't want to get him as dirty. It's already been fashioned on him. He's sitting there.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Mr. Nog, would you like your
Hearing
usual
his-
spices, sir?
hearing him mention, Nog just takes a very chicken leg style. One of the looks over to where Luther's talking and just kind of kind of.
Firstly, question number one. I'm going to start asking questions and I need answers. There's 10 of you, so we have some chances here. You, as I point out, or someone. Who was the first that approached you with the idea of leaving the caravan with all our food stores? And,
I ain't saying nothing to you.
I'm going to catch him on fire.
He begins to writhe around. He's instantly lit on fire.
Oh, Mr. Luther's cooking them up for me now. He is.
It's a slow and
You.
painful death.
You there.
He's still screaming and burning in the background as you point towards the next guy.
Ignis, please. Shut him up.
The large construct just like pulps him instantly, and he just stops moving.
You.
Yes,
Same
sir.
question. Who
I
approached you?
don't know. I don't know.
Not good enough. I'm gonna snap him on fire
The second
too.
guy's lit on fire. Ignis kind of looks towards you.
Yes. Yes, please, Ignis.
She pulps the second one.
All right. I feel like I need to escalate things. I'm not getting the answers I need. I thought I was being intimidating. You. Same question.
Sir, I'll tell you anything you want, sir. Anything.
Who?
It was one of the knights. It was a knight, sir. A knight.
A knight.
No, it was the bold one with the strange grin.
Strange grin. Henry, does this ring a bell?
I mean, you would recognize the description of Theobald.
That bastard.
Very good, very good. You have earned a reprieve for now. Please step aside.
Right over here, sir.
Yes, right over there, please.
He kind of like shuffles over away from everybody, stands a couple feet
Next
away.
question. Where was the last time anyone saw the knights and where they ran off to? You.
4 days. Kind of looks around at everyone else. No one's making eye contact.
I'm looking at everyone. They all look there.
4 days ago. It was
3 or 4.
Yeah, 3, 4, 4.
Three or four more of you.
Maybe 5.
Right.
6 days.
Now we're talking 6 of you.
It said I had to escalate things, and fortunately you're making me do this. Nog, eat that man.
That one. Which one? Both of them?
That one. The crying one.
All right, come in. Oh, man, tears make them say so much better.
Nog grabs a hold
It's
of
like
him.
pre-salted.
He's like, he screams until there's the horrific crunch, and then it stops.
This is so ruthless. I love it.
All right.
How many of them have wet themselves
Do we have a
watching
consensus?
this? Is what I want to know.
I'm going to ask this to everyone now. Do we have a consensus on when the last time we saw the individuals?
Do we
Very
get to
hard.
talk? Are we talking amongst ourselves? Or...
Talking amongst yourselves. You have a brief
give us
time?
a moment, sir.
Give you a
Moment, if you
moment?
please, sir. They
I'm
gather.
going to go like this. I'm going to start going like. I'm going to start like channeling magic.
While they're
God.
while they're talking amongst themselves, I just.
Oh. I'm sure that's pleasant.
Henry, I apologize. I know this is not honorable, but sometimes traitors need to be dealt with a certain way.
As you say that, it was 4 nights ago, sir. 4 nights.
4 nights. Very well.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, do we have a consensus on where they were headed?
Give us a moment, sir.
Of course.
They gather again. They begin to, you hear them whispering to each other. They were headed for Sudenburg, sir.
Did anyone see, who was that friend of yours, Henry? Gosh, what's his name? Bertram? No, that's not it. Robert? No.
Do you refer to my Uncle Otto?
Otto, yes, of course. How could it slip my mind? Does anyone know where Lord Otto is? Is he amongst them?
The, like, 6 remaining men they'll kind of look at each other. Sir, I don't think we know who that is, sir. No one here does.
Very well, very well. I won't kill you for your ignorance, at least this time. Any more questions? Anyone else have a question? Lucian, questions?
During this time, Joanna and I have been kind of wandering around, gathering up supplies, things people may have dropped, or useful
Indeed.
things from
Of course.
fallen deserters. Trying
for the most part, you don't
trying to ignore what's going on over
actually
here.
don't find
Searching
much.
pockets.
As you're kind of looking them over, Lucien. Minimal rations. No water.
Now, Henry, questions? Wolfram? No? Well,
Mr. Luthor, do we have much more use for these folks?
We would gladly serve once again, sirs.
of course.
We would
What,
serve
you
you
think
truly.
you can be trusted?
I know.
Luther, dude, do
Yes,
we
we
wanna
all
use
can.
our
Yes,
precious
yes.
resources
Of
on
course,
these
trust
men?
us.
And yes,
You expect what? Okay, look here. I'm not a smart ogre, but listen, I can eat all of you, right? But they can't, right? And you can eat their food, and they can't eat you. So you taking their food, and you see where the math don't math.
Nog knows what I'm talking about.
Henry, one of them says, Master Henry, you're an honorable man. You wouldn't
Before he
wouldn't
can
allow
finish,
them to
I'm just-
massacre us in cold blood.
I just ate his head.
Henry,
He's talking.
No, just God.
Better than burning.
Henry.
If I had a tree, I'd give you a traitor's death.
The four of them are just crying at this point.
Now,
Traitors get eaten by ogres.
I was gonna suggest I was gonna be like, now, I appreciate your candor. You have all answered our questions truthfully, as far as I know, and that is good for men to help redeem themselves in the name of our god Sigmar. Am I right, Henry? That's what they say. So unfortunately, fortunately, I will not be using the spell as I kind of disperse my spell to make the blood boil from inside you. However, you are traitors. You cannot be trusted. So, I will leave it to Henry and his men.
You don't need to kill us, sir. You could just exile us. We'll
Give
just
you
go
traitors
over that way.
What if we chained them up, Mr. Henry? We just drug them along until, I had to eat them.
No, I'll do as you please. I will not waste our resources chaining them up or bringing them with us.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
They will suffer the
bodies
traitor's
will
death,
The
or you
bodies
can
will
feel
do
your
fine.
stomach.
Now, and then I'll turn to them and I'll go, now, I could go, you all senior compatriots, it's probably not going to be all that. I could talk Mr. Luther into firing you up real quick, maybe make it a little less. Or I could just reach and grab one.
He keeps grabbing on. There's only 3 of them left at this point, as another one's dead. They're all crying, blubbering. They have pissed themselves, shit themselves. A couple of them are throwing up actively. Just everything is expelling from their bodies at this point.
What do you think, Rory?
The death of traitors.
I will look to Nog, and I will tell him to make himself full, and then I will take the knights, and we will turn our backs and ride away.
As those knights begin to gather up.
Y'all saunter off, and I'll just, the echoes of the final cries.
Nobody needs to see this.
Oh, I'm watching.
Yeah, Wolfram's watching intently. Henry, you will notice as you turn and go away that out of the 2 knights that you took with you, each of them have like burlap sacks hanging from their horses.
Interesting.
Kind of just look at them for a second.
Just look at him.
They just ride with you, Henry.
Okay.
As you ride back towards the caravan with the sounds of the final death throes of the
I want to leave one
horrible-
alive.
You're leaving one alive, Nog.
Yeah.
I agree. Leave one alive.
What
Maybe-
if
But
there's
between the
one-
last two, I want them to kind of fight it out just a little.
Of course.
Yeah.
Have, do a
Before
little
it's
fight.
not matter, and I just randomly pick one, and one's left alive.
You just grab one and then
Yeah.
eat him, and the other one's left there amidst the gore, and he goes insane. Understood. That's fair.
I mean, he could go back and tell his friends not to ever cross the
I
expedition.
don't think he has friends. You killed them all, but that's fine. So, as the final horrible screams of the final man begin to trail off in the distance, that is where we'll take our first break.